What is going on, everybody? If you're new to this channel, my name is Brittany Fontanez, and thank you so much for being here. I assist those to awaken to their power to find the infinite love within themselves. Today's topic, I'm just in flow state, so I'm just going to start speaking about things I kind of, spoke myself into today and into existence, is that there's no reason to chase anything. There's no reason to have to prove your worth to certain people or to certain things or to a job or to any situation, honestly. Even trying to prove your worth is pretty much like being on the defense. And there's no need to be on the defense, honestly. Because you have to understand, we all must understand that everything is vibration. The vibration we give off is what people interact with and how they react. That's why when people probably opinionate you or what's that word? It's on the tip of my tongue. When they try to dictate the way your life should be or how you should be, they're really stating things that they don't want to be real about with themselves. So they like to inflict it onto other people because they really see that other person as a mirror of themselves. And really, there's no need to get on the defense and have to prove your worth, because when you can remain calm, as in relax your muscles, because your muscles need to be tense in order for it to react in a certain emotion. If you can keep your muscles steady and keep relaxed, you could give yourself mental clarity to be aware within that situation of not only what you need to do or need to say, but to realize that what vibration you want to hold, what vibration you want to be in alignment. And the reason why I bring this up, honestly, is because, all my life I've attracted things that, I seem to have to always prove my worth. I always have to chase. But at the end of the day, you have to come to realize, yes, you are what you attract. You attract what you are, to be quite honest. But most of the time, when you're starting to, evolve into your element and really get in tune with how you truly are, you don't start attracting those things to chase. If anything, those things and those people attract you because you have something they desperately need. So it's really important to know your worth, not to defend it, but to know your worth, not to chase, but to know what you deserve. And I think that's so beautiful when you could bring yourself into the element of understanding your true aspect, your true essence. Because a lot of us, majority of society, I'm not talking about us awakened ones, I'm talking about those who do have the intelligence but are still asleep, really deteriorate their existence, really see themselves as worthless. And they do that by not being conscious of how they talk, not being conscious of how they walk, not being conscious about, anything that's good for their well-being. So, I'm not saying don't be around people that you can learn from to not become. But I am saying, though, is that don't try to make yourself be understood. Because if you do that, all you're going to try to do is chase things that don't even match your worth. And you want people to match your worth. You want people to match your vibration. You want people to match your element. So there's no need to lower your standards for those who don't even have standards, honestly. But it's beautiful when you can learn boundaries, because here's the thing a lot of people don't understand. Spirituality is developed by having boundaries. When you can have boundaries, you know your worth, you know what you deserve, and you will not tolerate anything less than that. And as you're evolving, getting more in tune with your spiritualness, I don't even care, that's not a word, that's a word now. But when you get in tune with your spiritualness, it could get lonely. And then you probably want to go back into those lower vibrations of wanting to be like, okay, I want to text this person because I'm lonely. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I don't have money for that to do that. Or, I'm living. Okay. And then you have to stop and say, I'm limiting myself. I'm putting a limit on myself by doing that. You set a commitment to create boundaries because you know what you deserve. So trust the process that everything that you deserve is being attracted to you at this very moment. There's no need to chase. There's no need to chase old people, old ways, old habits, old things that you used to do. There's no need for all of those things, because life is not about just experience as human experience, or being a spiritual being in this essence of a human experience. Life is about growth. It's about evolving into the two, I don't even want to say two, the three elements of life. And what I would like to call those three elements is like the mind, body, and soul. When you get in tune with those, you come to realize you can't go back. Like they say, once the consciousness expands, it can't go back to its original form. So whatever you set for yourself and whatever boundaries you create, commit to those, because you're committing to your elevation. We are meant to grow and evolve into high, divine, spiritual beings that is the perfect image of God, because we're the highest form of God. And when you come to establish that and realize that, you will not tolerate any of the things that you used to tolerate. Now here's another thing. As I said before, it does get a little lonely as you are growing, but it's a growing pain. When you get lonely, I don't get lonely anymore. I face my loneliness now. I really embrace my solitude. I really embrace it. But for those who have just awakened, who are still going into the awakening process, every day we're awakening more and more into the evolvement of who we truly are. But when you do get into those moments of loneliness, the best thing you should do is write down the thoughts you have. And as you write down those thoughts that you have, oh my, there's a spider in my phone. When you write down the thoughts that you have, become so deliberately aware of the limiting thoughts that you have, and write those down. And read it and read it and read it and read it. Because I've come to learn, when I started to do that, I come to learn so much about myself that I did not like. But I come to realize so much about myself I needed to embrace that I never embraced before. And in doing that, not only did I learn the things that I tolerated and allowed into my life that I didn't want, that wasn't good for my well-being, I started to learn what was good for my well-being, who I wanted to be, how I wanted to think, how I wanted to move, what is going to help me grow and elevate to my best version of myself. And with that, I've come to really, really embrace the beautiful blessing that God has made me to be. And you gotta understand, you're a blessing. You're a miracle. That's why you are here. And you have to know this in order to know your worth. But when I did that, I really started to embrace solitude. I really started to embrace how my feet sound when I walked away from things I did not give a shit about anymore. I started to embrace the fact of speaking up for myself and not tolerating people putting me down, And I don't do it out of aggression anymore. I don't do it out of, I'm desperate for people to understand me. I do it out of integrity. And you want to do things out of self-love, which is integrity. Because that's when people and things will not be attracted into your life that is not meant to be there. So do yourself that favor. When you feel like as you're growing, painful growth, or growing pains, we like to say, write how your thoughts are. Write all the limiting thoughts that you have. Write what it is you feel that you think you need at this moment, but really that you don't need. And come to realize, are those things of your old programming, or are they good for your well-being and the best version you try to create for yourself? Within that gap, you'll come to really understand which side you want to choose. Do you want to choose a side that feels best for me, or do you want to choose a side that feels comfortable for me? Because there's a huge difference between comfort and choosing. A huge difference, honestly. But no matter what, don't chase anything. Don't prove your worth. And at the end of the day, be satisfied with who you are, where you are, and what you have. Because if you could be satisfied, that's when you have healed a lot of your triggers, healed a lot of that, trying to have to prove your worth, or heal, instead of chasing, you just stay still. You heal those things, and to the point, you allow the universe to bring into your life what it is you deserve. And you do yourself a huge service by doing that. And you do yourself a huge service into your environment and to the people that you interact with, because you're leading by example. And that's what you want to be. You want to lead by example, and you actually just, not only for other people, but for yourself. And that right there will encourage you to know your worth, and to know that you never have to chase, and to know that when you're satisfied now and you're solid in everything, even physically, it doesn't seem like it, but internally it's solid, that's when you realize you don't need anything. You don't desperately want it. You just desire it. And therefore, when you desire it, it just comes so swiftly into your existence. And honestly, that's what we all deserve. So do yourself a favor. Stop chasing. Stop chasing money. Stop chasing cars. Stop chasing bitches. Stop chasing douchebags. I'm saying all these things. Stop chasing money. Stop chasing jobs. Stop chasing everything, and start chasing the best version of yourself. Because when you start chasing the best version of yourself, all those things will start chasing you. And that's what you want. You want things to want you, rather than you wanting it so much. Because when you want so much, it's just like, like when someone wants you so much and you're just like, that's how your desires are feeling when you're desperate in that aspect. So, look at the positive and the negative experience, because that's a positive experience. Stop trying to seek positive experience, because it turns out into a negative experience. You might have to go back and rewind that to understand that, but I said it a little fast. But anywho, you guys, you are so worthy, and you got to emit that energy, but you got to own that shit too. Anywho, thank you so much for being here on this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, also follow me on Insta, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a beautiful, blissful day and night wherever you are in the world, and stay blissful, stay authentic, and namaste.